The Forgotten Ornament. The December chill had settled firmly over the neighborhood, dusting the rooftops and tree branches with a fresh coat of frost. Inside the cozy glow of his family's living room, 8-year-old Oliver watched his mother sift through boxes from the attic, pulling out bundles of lights, strings of garland, and the family's well-worn ornaments. "Mom, look at this!" Oliver shouted, holding up an old, tarnished box he'd found in the bottom of a dusty crate. His mom, Sarah, turned with a curious smile. "I don't remember that one." She wiped off the dust and carefully opened it. Inside lay a small, heart-shaped glass ornament, painted with swirls of faded gold and red. "Can I keep it in my room?" Oliver asked, his eyes wide with excitement. Sarah shrugged, still puzzled. "Sure. Just be careful. It looks fragile." That night, as Oliver lay in bed with the ornament resting on his bedside table, a soft glow began to fill his room. He rubbed his eyes, sitting up to find the ornament shimmering with a faint, warm light. A soft humming sound, like distant music, floated from the glass, and Oliver swore he heard whispers. Curious, he leaned closer, and the whispers turned into words. "Once, long ago, your great-grandfather Jacob celebrated his first Christmas in America." Oliver listened, enraptured, as the ornament told him a story from his family's past. He heard about Jacob's long journey to America, the hard work he put into starting a new life, and how, that Christmas, he'd carefully carved wooden toys for his children from scraps he found. The next morning, Oliver raced down to the kitchen, his words tumbling over each other. "Mom, did you know Great-Grandpa made toys by hand for Christmas when he came to America?" Sarah looked at him, surprised. "Yes, he did." "Who told you?" Oliver hesitated, feeling a bit silly. "The ornament," he mumbled, expecting her to laugh, but she only smiled, her eyes thoughtful. "I didn't know you were interested in those old stories, honey." "I wasn't, but—" He paused. It was different hearing it like that. Over the next few nights, Oliver eagerly waited for bedtime, holding the ornament close as he drifted to sleep. Each night, it whispered another story, drawing him further into his family's past. One night, the ornament told him of his grandmother, Evelyn's Christmas during World War II, too. He listened, enchanted, as the ornament described how Evelyn's father surprised her by coming home on Christmas Eve, carrying a small cake made from rationed sugar and flour. Despite the hardships, Evelyn's family sang carols and shared stories, grateful just to be together. Excited by this new connection to his family, Oliver called his grandmother the next day. "Grandma, did Grandpa really bring home a Christmas cake during the war?" "Oh my, how did you know that?" Evelyn's voice wavered with emotion, recalling the memory. Oliver grinned. I just know. Can you tell me more?" Evelyn was thrilled, launching into more details, filling in pieces the ornament had left out. Oliver felt a warm glow in his heart, a new appreciation for the stories that had shaped his family. Each story became a spark of inspiration. When he heard about his mother's childhood Christmas in the forest, where she'd left a small tree, only to find it sparkling with snow the next morning, Oliver convinced his parents to take him to the same forest. Together, they planted a tiny tree, marking a new family tradition and connecting him with his mom's memories. The ornament's stories brought life to his family's traditions, filling him with a sense of wonder and belonging. He learned of the Christmas candle his great-aunt used to place in the window for travelers, and on Christmas Eve, he asked his mom if they could light a candle just like she had. "Of course," Sarah whispered, touched by his growing love for these family traditions. One snowy night, the ornament glowed brighter than ever, and Oliver settled in to hear the tale of a Christmas feast prepared by his great-great-grandparents in a tiny kitchen. They'd invited neighbors, even strangers, to join in a meal filled with laughter and joy. Oliver could almost smell the food, taste the warmth of that gathering. The next day, he helped his mom recreate some of those dishes, filling their kitchen with the sense of the past. They laughed and cooked together, sharing old recipes and stories. As Christmas drew closer, the ornament grew warmer with each tale, as though feeding off Oliver's love and curiosity. On one especially magical night, it shared a story of a forgotten Christmas carol his family used to sing. Inspired, Oliver taught the carol to his family, and they sang it together, their voices echoing softly through the house. Even his grandmother joined, wiping away happy tears as she hummed along. The ornament wasn't just telling stories, Oliver realized. It was helping him rediscover pieces of his family that had been forgotten over time, helping him understand where he came from. He wrote each story in a journal, hoping to pass them on one day. Then, on Christmas Eve, the ornament shared a story of itself, a history stretching back to a tiny European village, where it was crafted with care and given to his ancestors as a symbol of love and memory. It had traveled across oceans, through wars, and into his family's hands, passed down like a hidden treasure. Holding the ornament close, Oliver whispered, "Thank you," understanding that this simple, beautiful object had preserved his family's legacy. That night, his family gathered around the tree, and Oliver opened his journal, reading aloud the stories he'd written down. His parents, his grandmother, and even his dad, who'd been playfully skeptical of the ornament, sat with quiet reverence as Oliver shared each tale. "Where did you learn all these?" his dad asked, marveling at the stories. Oliver smiled, glancing at the glowing ornament on the tree. "It was always there. I just needed to listen." The next morning, as Christmas dawned, Oliver placed the ornament at the top of the tree, where it shone with a quiet, golden warmth. He looked up at it, knowing that each Christmas, from now on, it would carry the memories and stories of all those who came before him. In that moment, he felt a profound sense of connection, not just to his family's past, but to his place within it. And as his family gathered around him, Oliver knew that this was the real gift of Christmas, the love and stories we pass on, year after year, like a light that never fades,